Why is this a problem? This defaced sign was found in a classroom at my high school. Chances are, if you live in the United States, you probably heard this slogan before, whether it be on the internet, written on bathroom walls, or chanted at certain political rallies. But what does this mean? And what is it about this seemingly mundane catchphrase that makes it so controversial? Well, to do that, we need to address the very thing All Lives Matter speaks out against: Black Lives Matter. I spoke with Barbara Joseph, a student representative of Black Lives Matter in my school, asking her first what brought about this movement in our country.
The Black Lives Matter movement started under the circumstance of the murder of Trayvon Martin in Florida, where he was then walking from home in a gated neighborhood, and he was wearing a hoodie, had Skittles, and Arizona. He was then, I heard the recording, he was then followed by the gatekeeper, you could say. It's like a neighborhood watch. The guy called the police, but then they told him not to follow him. He was murdered after that. He was a senior in high school, and the parents were devastated. The whole nation was devastated. And nothing was really done about that situation, to be honest, until years prior. This man still released, but I believe that since that, we've always been fighting for Black life, but that sparked the movement in general, to fight for our lives and to make people know that we are equal and we are not subordinate to anybody.
Since then, countless more murders of Black people by law enforcement have taken place, sparking outrage amongst the Black community.
What kind of power? People power! What kind of power? My name is Nino Brown. I'm an organizer of mass action against police brutality, and we were spawned out of the rebellion that happened in Ferguson, where the people didn't just take this shit, they stood up and fought back.
The goal of the Black Lives Matter movement is not only fighting against police brutality against our Black brothers and sisters, but it's fighting for the economic wealth that we deserve. It's fighting for the civil humanity rights we deserve. It's fighting for the education that our children of the future generations deserve. It's for putting us on the same pedestal as everyone else in the world, and not making us feel as if we're a subordinate, and not making us feel as if we are not good enough. How we go about achieving all these goals that we talk about in Black Lives Matter, we go about it in protests, we go about it in fundraising for giving back to schools and getting books for schools that don't have them, desks, teachers. We try to do protests. We try to fight for having more people that look like us in the police force in order to be able to deal with that. Fighting for equal rights, fighting for the same treatment. That's how we do it.
So, with this in mind, how does All Lives Matter go against the ideas of Black Lives Matter?
When somebody says All Lives Matter in a Black Lives Matter protest, or holds up a sign saying all Lives Matter, it's basically shutting us up. It's basically then telling us that we don't matter anymore. We're not as equal. We can't be as equal as you guys out in the world. It's, you got your rights, you can shut up. But in all reality, you have to then step in our shoes to understand what we see day by day. Black Lives Matter is saying that we are equal. We are on the same pedestal. We're the same, we're human. And as soon as you get to understand that, you get to understand how All Lives Matter is complete and utterly disrespectful, to then put aside the systematic oppression we face day by day. Put aside the children that are getting profiled day by day on the streets, and then attacked by police forces across the nation, murdered across the nation, incarcerated across the nation, filed for adults across the nation, adults getting murdered with kids at home across the nation. This is not something that happens in one specific spot. This happens in your backyard, but you're not aware of it. And that's why we try to influence everybody to join the movement, to say that we are equal, we are one. Just fight for that.
Why is this a problem?